they clinical insane. We keep it so metal that we spitting your refrain. Adam Story's got a point if you let him explain. It's the pun of all puns, get a pun with Papa Wayne. Rum tapping the vein, 9 minutes bringing pain. MHOG secreting, leaving a stain. You ain't as dope as us, bitch. Stay in your lane.
And 3, 2.
And welcome back to the Metal Hand of God podcast. I am your host, Wayne. And with me, as always, are these two beautiful gentlemen.
Yeah! No, I'm just kidding. I'm Adam.
Joe Pano, motherfucker.
No one's seen Joe Pano in many a year. I'm just Adam.
Adam.
I'm the Rum Guy.
Arr, what's happening, guys? What's going on?
Well, I mean...
The world's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's incredible. There's like so much fucking insanity going on right now.
It's something for sure.
Tell me about it, Adam.
I don't want to talk about the world right now. People.
Can I just say, I don't know,
all day.
Adam. I don't know if you talked about this on the last episode because I have not had a chance to listen to it.
Probably didn't.
Wait, but I don't know. It was the Chris Hardwick thing.
Oh no, I don't like Chris Hardwick. I don't care if he loses his job.
I don't really care for the guy anyway, but I still, you know, he's like
Chris Hardwick is one of the biggest podcasters in the world. Basically.
Yes,
he's got his own network.
Never heard of him.
Do you remember that show with game show with Jenny McCarthy on MTV, Singled Out?
I remember the title. Yes.
Well, he was her sidekick. He was like, and he then went on to do nothing for several years, and then randomly he got the idea to start a podcast before anyone else was really doing podcasts, and now he owns the Nerdist Network. And so that led to him doing a talk show after The Walking Dead called The Talking Dead.
Oh, I saw that.
Okay, well, he's the host of that, or he was. That show's been canceled now because some.
Has it? They didn't say that yet. They just said that.
No, it has. They're replacing it with something like called Riding with Reedus or something like that. Norman Reedus is going to do like some other kind of type of show afterwards.
Norman Reedus.
Norman Reedus is Riding with Reedus has been on for like 2 years now, 30 years, something like that.
I don't. Well, maybe they're putting it on during that time slot. I don't know. I just saw something that said, I'd never heard of that show.
Yeah. It's on a couple years now. He's been doing it a couple years.
But yeah, I don't know exactly what happened. Some chick accused him of like date rape or something like that. I don't know.
This cosplay chick, I cannot remember her name. It's one of the famous cosplayer girls. He dated her, and he was dating her, and she wrote a essay about her getting abused by her boyfriend or ex-boyfriend. Never named him once, but of course everyone knew that they were dating, and then she drops, you know, like he's a podcaster, he's a famous this, he does this, you know, but never names him, but you know.
Her name is Chloe Dykstra?
Yeah, that's it, Dykstra's. I think she goes by Skydart. I don't.
That's you know what? Don't feel sorry for him. Why would you date somebody with a stupid name like that?
And then on top of that, like I just want to say that everybody's jumping on this guy, even if he did it. I'm not defending him or I'm not saying anything he did any of this shit. But I read most of her dissertation about all this stuff. And it was some really fucking weird shit. Like he would make her stay in the hotel room while he went to these big conventions like San Diego and stuff, and then would expect her to be naked on the bed when he got back up there so he could, you know, jizz on her or whatever.
Sounds like a good time.
Oh, interesting.
But so I read all this stuff and all this shit and whatnot, and then but there's no real proof. It's all
speculatory, and it already sounds like the way you're describing it. It sounds like she was just looking for, like, I'm not going to name names, but it's like, what were you, like in sixth grade?
She was getting brownie points. She's not really that famous.
Right.
Speaking out against Chris Hardwick and or alluding to whatever the fuck, like gives her like plausible because if she never says his name, then she's got plausible deniability, and she still gets to say #MeToo and all that shit.
Right.
And,
yeah, exactly. She's just playing the game right now.
And what it's like I said, what it sounded like Me Too is like she could have been just a irritated ex-girlfriend. Who the fuck knows? Yeah. And again, like I said, I'm not saying the dude didn't do this. He could have did some of that douchey shit. You never know. He seems like kind of like a bag.
Why not speak about him then? Apparently they hadn't dated in a while. He's apparently married.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, this is just digging up shit that she just wants money.
She was one of those people that were like, "Oh well, it hurts so bad.
Her name?
Talk about it right now."
Her name is Chloe.
Quick Dart Fart was her name. What was her name?
Chloe Dishnerlu or some shit like.
Her name's Chloe Dykstra.
Dykstra.
Not Quick Dart Fart. Okay.
I think that's her Twitter handle is.
I like that
Dart
name,
Fart?
Rum. Quick Dart Fart. I like that.
But the one thing, and I want to the reason I'm bringing this stuff up is kind of like, aren't we a society of like supposed to be like innocent and proven guilty kind of thing? And
yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and then like this dude, of course he's denying it. I mean, he's like she's not. She's completely lying. I would never do something like that. This and this, which is fine, but it's already fucked his career.
Yeah, the Man Haters Club is on his ass right now.
Here's the thing. That's not exactly true. He did lose that show, but he's fine. He's got an entire network. Don't get me wrong. He lost money, and if he actually didn't do these things, if this is just some jolted ex-lover who's pissed off, and that's another thing. Like when people talk about this kind of shit, like we've all had breakups. How many of those are friendly?
Never. And have we all forgot the term crazy ex-girlfriend?
Exactly, that too. But I do want to say that Nerdist actually spoke out against him and removed everything about him off of the network.
I thought he owned it.
No, he started it.
Oh, and he sold out.
He started it, and now they took everything that he had that was his.
He's got a board of directors now. That's
gone. It's gone.
Well, that just means that he has a shitload of money from selling it, and
yeah, exactly. But I
don't disagree with you. I think but the thing is, like, due process only comes to court cases, which is why, if you notice, these things rarely go to court,
right?
Because
you're always prosecuted in the eyes of public opinion first,
right?
And the hard thing about it is there's no fucking physical evidence. There's no proof to any of this.
It's all
speculation and who said what.
Honestly, and look, and what really sucks about all this shit is like there's so many some of these stories are bullshit that you start to like and not well. Some of them are bullshit. Some of them you're just like, well, I don't know how I'm supposed to believe you when you're coming out with this like 10 years, 20 years later. And sometimes there's corroborating evidence and shit like that. Like the same guy did a bunch of stuff to different women and they all have like similar details and stuff like that. But it's just getting kind of like, it's so speculative and it's just so...
and repetitive and so fucking you don't know where the stories ends in truth and where the lies begin,
right? Because you don't know what's going on and what's not. And like, because I read this thing that it's supposedly there's an excerpt in his book that says that you never bring your girlfriend to the Comic Cons. If you bring her, you leave her in the hotel room and then come back to her later, because it's something about you don't want her dressed half naked, or I don't remember what the whole...
I can't regardless, you want to, as a guy, in a way, you want to be like, oh, yes, sweetheart, I'll believe whatever you say, and then all of a sudden it's like, this is too much of this shit. There's just way too much of this shit.
Yeah, well, that's the problem. We're all starting to roll our eyes at some of this shit, and like these.
And it takes away from the real cases of things that happen.
Yeah.
It's the cry wolf syndrome.
Well, Chris Hardwick, if you ever need a podcast to be on, you can be on ours.
That's right.
You come over here. There's always room for Chris Hardwick on the Ravecast.
No, there's not. There's not.
Come on,
not even a little bit.
By the way, I want to copyright Quick Dart Fart.
Okay, you can do that.
All right.
Okay. No, I've tried listening to his show. He's boring as fuck.
I'm not saying that he's boring. I'm not saying that he's entertaining. I'm just saying that.
Why would you want someone who's boring on our show?
No, dude. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is
we had that one time. His name was Mike.
Yeah, we always have room for someone to come on, I think obviously everybody else is going to be like, "Oh, we don't want him. He's such a this. He's such a that." I'm like, "Well, fuck it. If he wants to come say something, come on the show." That's what I'm saying. There's always room to come and speak his mind instead of him being avoided like the plague.
There's plenty of other people who are just as famous, if not more famous, who've been accused of things. I'll take them on. If Cosby wants to come on the show, I know he hates us. I know he blocked us.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, Morgan Freeman's getting hate right now.
Oh yeah, he is, because he was helping Cosby fuck those girls.
No. Well, yeah. He's getting all sorts of hate from people like that. Whatever. I'm Morgan Freeman.
And I gave some Rufus Wint Cosby.
That's so funny.
That was horrible.
Whatever, it's true.
Oh man, no. I mean, it sucks though. It's it sucks that some of these women are telling the truth. Sucks that some of these guys are losing their whole livelihood over like a simple allegation. And it's funny. Last weekend, I was in Wolverine's bar with Big T and the Lord of Darkness.
I have no idea what Wolverine's bar was, but when you put that, I laughed.
There's a bar in Metairie that was filmed in the movie The Wolverine.
Is that the one where Gambit was sitting at the table?
I don't think so.
In the beginning?
No.
Wolverine movie?
No. You're thinking of that one was called Wolverine Origins.
You're thinking of Old Man Logan's movie, right? Logan?
No. There was Wolverine Origins, then there was The Wolverine, and then there was Old Man Logan,
which was just Logan. The Wolverine was the one in when he was in World War II Japan thing with the sword.
Okay.
Yeah, that was
the beginning of that movie. There's a bar where he tries to kill some hunters.
Yes, I remember now. Okay,
that scene was filmed at a bar in Metairie.
Oh no shit! I had no idea.
I didn't either until I went there. So I was at Wolverine's bar with Big T and the Lord of Darkness, and I
know who the Lord of Darkness is. Who the fuck is Big T?
If you think about it long enough, you'll figure it out.
All right, I'll figure it out. Go
ahead. But we had this conversation about like how people are just like getting called out for all this shit, and like people are trying to ruin your lives for just it wasn't specifically about the Me Too movement, but it was about people's having their lives destroyed for having an opinion or saying something, whatever it may be. And I was saying the problem is like too many people back down. Now don't get me wrong, there's some times where I do think you should apologize, like if I don't even want to get into like why you should, but there's obviously going to be situations where you're just in the wrong. However, more often than not, when you see these people just get crushed online for something stupid, it just drives me crazy that they all back down and just like, yeah, I'm just going to issue a public, I have to understand that I'm part of the problem and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, if this show ever got like famous, I mean, I don't expect that to happen because I'm realistic. But if this show ever did get famous, I would probably be in a lot of trouble for a lot of things I said. And I was talking about it.
I think we all would be.
Yeah, but I'd be more in trouble than y'all. I don't know about that, Rum, but
Mom, you've said some pretty incriminating things on this show.
I've never said anything incriminating on the show.
Animal cruelty.
I've never done really anything to cause any controversy in my life.
Yeah, you don't even sound like you believe yourself. Anyway,
he doesn't. He's like, I don't know.
But I was saying, like, if they come after me, like, I'm not backing down under any circumstances. Like, I don't believe in this shit where you just get and look. And I'm not anti-bullying or anything like that. I don't give a shit. But I just don't believe in this shit where you let people destroy your lives because it's not a lot of people. Like people have,
and it's not their lives. And it's not their lives; it's your lives. So they have no right to destroy it. unless
Right.
you
Well,
you know.
it's not a lot of people that do this. Like, people get really confused and they think like, oh, the social justice warriors are taking over the planet. No, they're not. It's a small group of people. It's just
They live with their parents in their basement.
I mean, maybe, but they just don't have jobs. They just sit there online, and their job in their mind is to quote unquote punch Nazis. You know, like these made up Nazis that they've decided exist everywhere. You know, like that's what they think their job is, and that's all they do online. It's a small group of people. Normal people aren't online all day long because they have jobs.
Fucking, that's a problem. People played Castle Wolfenstein too much and hate Nazis that bad.
Yeah, that's another thing I heard, guys.
What?
Did you hear that now they're trying to say that people who play video games have a horrible addiction, and,
Yes.
and they're trying to use that as a sickness now. And you'll
it's
have
a gaming disorder.
Yes, you have a gaming disorder, Rum. Did you know that?
I did. I did see
I guess.
that.
I don't know.
I saw the way I didn't read the article, but I did see the person who posted it said, new math, transgender people don't have a mental disorder, but people who play video games do.
That's beautiful. I didn't see that, but that is fucking incredible. And I figured out who Big T was. Okay, gotcha.
Okay.
Terrence Trent D'Arby?
Yes, exactly.
It should be.
He was sitting in Wolverine's bar with Terrence Trent D'Arby and Ozzy Osbourne.
No, not the Prince of Darkness, the Lord of Darkness.
Oh, it's a step up.
Step
Different
up.
Ronnie, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's I find it really insane that people are going back into this video games cause blah blah blah. You know, like didn't we get done with this in what was it, the 90s?
Back when
Let's back like bell bonds, baby. Woo!
when Columbine happened, that was one of their big things. That and Marilyn Manson caused them to do that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you see all the people? I'm sure y'all did because y'all are gamers and I'm not. But like all the people that got upset online. It was only a day. It was one day. But when E3 had the announcement for Fallout 76 that you could nuke people, like there were all kinds of people online that were like, "This is horrendous. Some of us have consciences and don't think it's funny, the idea of like nuking people." And
It's a video game, guys.
I don't disagree.
And those are the same jackasses that played what was it, Call of Duty? I can't remember. Was it Black Ops? I think was the original one. I think that was the one where you walked through the airport and shot the fucking people on their knees. Those are probably the same fucking people who played that and were like, "Oh, this is funny. Look, you know."
I don't think so. I think these are people who don't play video games. I think there's, like I said, there's professional victims out there. There's people whose jobs are just to, again, quote unquote, punch Nazis and just claim victimhood and all that shit. I think that's all it is. But it went away after a day for some reason. Like it was a big deal for like 8 hours, and then people forgot.
People realized this is fucking stupid. Why are we going behind this when there's so much other stuff we can go and fucking.
Well,
protest?
I think that's the more relevant part. I think it's like the turnover cycle of victimization is so quick that it's like, oh wait, I got a new thing to be a victim about.
The world we live in is fucking amazing, dude. It's so terrible. The people are fucking
They're just great
retarded.
examples of breathing human waste. People.
We should be
birds with more personality than these people.
We shouldn't be called people. They should be called fecal.
Fecal. Fecal doesn't matter.
Yeah, it does.
Not to bring this show down, but can I tell y'all something like a real problem?
Yes. Please. I love real problems.
This is something that I actually thought about recording myself and just posting at the end of the last episode. But so my grandmother is in the hospital. Well, she might be in rehab now. I forgot to text. I need to find out where she is now. But my grandmother was in the hospital for at least a week.
Ooh.
I'm sorry, dude.
She's 88 now, and she's lived a very long life. When I was very young, she was taking care of my great grandmother and my grandfather, who both had Alzheimer's at the same time.
Oh wow, that's a lot of work.
Yeah, and they both died around the same time. I don't know exactly when my great grandmother died, but I think my grandfather died around the age of 11, maybe. So she, you know, it's been almost 30 years, not quite,
Right.
but almost 30 years since she lost my grandfather. And, you know, she'd always been very, I guess, feisty, you know.
Sure.
The last few times she was in the hospital, I remember the first major hospital incident. She had turned out to be gallstones, and my aunt was like crying her eyes out. My little brother started weeping, and I said, I looked at her and I said, she's good. I mean, she's not good, but she ain't going nowhere. She's not ready. And there's been a couple of incidents where she's been hospitalized since, and usually I'm like, nah, she's still there. She's always had, you know, she hadn't had Alzheimer's, you know, she'd always had her faculties. She didn't get senile. But over the last couple of years, you know, it's just been harder for her.
Sure.
And she you know, I mean, she's still happy to have her family around her and all that, but, you know, she can't get around like she used to. She's kind of stuck in the house. And, you know, she's got like I guess it's scoliosis where her spine is curved, you know, and she's the last few years she's been on oxycodone like every day to deal with the pain. And when she fell, she had like she had a big gash on her face and a giant black eye. And I went and saw her Wednesday when I found out, and then I went again on Thursday. And she was Wednesday. I was really upset because I was like I knew she was going to get out of the hospital, but I just had this feeling like she can't want more of this. She can't want much more of this, you know. And Thursday, I was a little more encouraged because she looked a little better, and it turned out the medication was really affecting her. She didn't remember seeing me at all Wednesday, even though she seemed to have all of her faculties. And I didn't go to see her Friday because she was supposed to go to the rehab facility, but my dad told me on Sunday that she was still in the hospital, and I went and saw her by myself.
Well, that was nice.
Yeah, well, she was sleeping when I got there, so I just kind of sat there until I figured like she'll either wake up or I'll just go home in a few minutes, whatever. And she did wake up, and she got kind of indignant. She was like, "You watching me sleep?" I was like, "No, Grandma, I was watching the TV. I was just sitting here with you, and I figured you either get up or you wouldn't." And
it's like, damn, you fucking stalker, what you doing?
Yeah, later when the nurse came in, she was like, "That's my grandson. He was watching me sleep." I was like, "Grandma, I'm not watching you sleep. I don't know why you have this in your head, but I will tell a little funny incident before I get to the rest of it. When she did wake up, she had to go to the bathroom, and so I went and got one of the nurses, and they had to help her use the bathroom. And one of the nurses comes out, and she's like, "Oh, you can go in there now." And I go in, and apparently there was a lot of gas trapped in her what do you call it, a colostomy bag. So the whole room smelled like shit for a good like 2 minutes, and I just kind of had to wait for it to drift out into the hallway to bother other people. I was like, "Oh Jesus, what the fuck," you know. But as it started to pass, she felt, I guess, a little bit better because she got to use the bathroom, but she started kind of like moaning. Like she just kept saying like, I hurt all over. I hurt. So we called the nurse to see if it was time for them to give her oxycodone pill. And so the nurse comes over. She's like, "Oh, yes, ma'am. Like, we just didn't want to wake you." And I was like, "I understand that, but all she does all day is sleep, and she's in a shitload of pain. So, whatever." And the nurse seemed very nice, but like I could tell, like something was there. Like maybe she was having a bad day, and she didn't really want to be there, and she really didn't want to do any of this, but she knew her job. You know, she had to be pleasant to the patients because they're going through shit, You know, they're not there because they want to be. So she was trying to put on a happy face, but I could see her, you know, I could see the effort, but also the really don't want to do this shit, you know. So she asked my grandmother about her family, and I said, well, she's got 6 kids, you know, like you met my Aunt Angie, and then she's got 5 sons. And I said, yeah, my grandfather was a merchant marine around World War II. And she said, yeah, he would come in to the come in shore, put a baby in me, and then leave. Come back, give me another baby, and then leave. He was never here whenever the babies were born. He would always be, you know. And that, I mean, I don't know much about the merchant marines, but like I'm sure there's a deployment, and you're on the ship until the ship comes ashore. Right. Whatever the detail is, however long it is. And the woman, and I get that she was trying to just relate to my grandmother, and again, she didn't want to be there. She was trying, but she made kind of a cunty feminist joke, and she goes, "You were probably better off, like raising them on your own without them." And my grandmother got quiet for a second, and she said, "No, I loved him." And it really just fucking broke my heart. And because I could tell she was thinking about like the last 30 years without him, and just the last 30 years of her life, you know. And this man,
sad.
And I don't think about it often, but my grandfather was a Filipino immigrant during World War II. I can't imagine that. Oh, and my grandmother is white. Like she's not that Italian. I mean, she's Italian, but she's not that Italian kind of white that people are used to, where it's sort of olive complected, like my mom.
Kind of like you are.
No, I'm much.
I didn't know you were Italian.
Yeah. But my point is that like it couldn't have been, because I'm sure back then there weren't a lot of people that knew the difference between Filipinos and Japanese.
Right.
There
was spelling alone.
But yeah, it really just broke my heart. And as I sat there, I just wondered, like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if she wants to live. I don't know if she's just done, you know. And I don't know how to feel about any of it. And it's a selfish feeling, but it really is the worst feeling in the world. Like watching somebody you love suffer, and just saying, like, whenever she would say, like, I hurt, I didn't know what to say. I mean, I could say, like, I understand, Grandma, like, but what is that going to do, you know? And she wasn't, I don't know that she was telling me. I think she was just, like, you know, speaking aloud. Like,
just saying it out general, man.
Yeah.
88. I mean, that's a hell of a long life.
Yeah, no, definitely. And, you know,
you're going to hurt at 88 for sure. There ain't no way around that.
Yeah.
I mean, some people do better than others, but I think, you know, like I said, like it's the last couple of years, like, you could see the pictures of my little brother's second wedding anniversary was on the 18th, and you could.
Wow, it's been 2 years already. Jesus.
Yeah, and you can see the pictures of her, and she looks. And now, granted, it was a good day for her. She got to see her grandson get married, and they made a big show of it. They rolled her down the aisle on the carpet and all that, and you know, and everybody kind of looked and clapped and all that. So it was a nice day, but you could tell there was a lot more energy in there, you know.
Yeah, I've worked with. I've had a lot of people in my life pass, elderly and not elderly, but working with a lot of elderly people for the past few years with my old job, you learn a lot, and it can happen. I mean, you're having a great, you know, year, you're having a great week, and then all of a sudden it's just nothing but pain and heartbreak after that. I mean, there's no rhyme or reason to it, you know, and it's good days come and good days go. But the older you get, the less good days you have.
Yeah.
All you got at that time is hopefully you got enough of your memories to keep you going, and a lot of love around you at that point.
Exactly. I mean, look, my grandfather's 91 or 90. Yeah, 90. He'll be 92.
Wow.
And I'm just amazed that, you know, that he still gets around. You know, he's frail, skinny guy, but he he talks shit with the rest of us when he always tells me, he says, I can get that. I'm not made out of piss. I'm like, I don't understand what that means, but okay.
You know what? You need to get both you at this point in time in your life, your granddad, your grandma. You need to sit down and learn about as much as you possibly can from those two people. So you are the next person in the family that has a little bit of that history you can pass on.
I thought about that, man. I really did. I actually thought about bringing a recorder and recording.
Asking questions, asking stories, tell the stories. Record it on your phone and transfer it or whatever you need to do.
I have asked my grandmother questions. The problem is, it's funny actually. In one way, Squirrels reminds me of her. They both have a way of telling stories that starts with one story and sort of makes a circle. And eventually the train always comes back to the station. But you have to follow the train through like 19 other things where you're like,
that's what? Fine, man. That's how the story goes. You just record it because when they're gone, you're not going to have that train. You know what I mean? You're not going to hear that again.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I mean, like I said, I thought about. I mean, I think I do believe my grandfather served in World War II, so it's kind of like.
So just think of the stuff. Even it's surprising things that may come up that you're like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I didn't even know this happened. Well, now you've got it recorded. Now you've got it, and you can go.
She's told me plenty of stories. I didn't. Like I said, I've asked her, but I think we're kind of past that. Like she. When I used to be when I would talk to her, she would tell me all kinds of stuff, and now she's just kind of like I said, she's in pain. Yeah. Like she's happy to talk, but I could tell like when I was talking to her Sunday, like like she was happy to have me there, but at the same time, she was just tired. She
was hurting.
Do you have anybody in your family that does do you have a family historian that's done all the genealogy work or anything like that on either side?
No.
Oh, I was gonna say because we do. I have book upon book upon book of family history, family stories of people that I've never met, or it's amazing because I've got a lot of it, but that's been a big thing in my family that always has been. Cool. To keep your family history going one way or another, because stories get lost.
Well, family history gets so watered down over the years, like you never know. I mean, sure. You don't know who you're fucking related to anymore. These days.
You could ask somebody now a story about your great great grandfather, but if it was from your great grandfather, it makes a little bit more sense because he was closer to that story.
He was the story, right? Yeah.
If there was going to be a family historian in my family, it would be my grandmother, but I don't think she had any interest in writing things down. I don't think people thought about that back from her day. But as the rest of my family, my uncles and they're very much like my aunt's not like this. My aunt's more like my grandmother, but my uncles and my dad are very much people like leave me the fuck alone. Like they don't.
I got you.
They're not really interested in talking about. Like I think I had told y'all. Like my uncle Danny. I found out 3 or 4 years ago. His name is not Danny. His name is
Metal Force Danny, right?
No, that's my uncle.
Is he Filipino?
No. He's the one. No, my grandmother got knocked up by another guy in the middle.
Okay.
No.
Is he Irish?
My uncle Danny's real name is Maurice.
And I remember you saying that. Yeah.
And some people call him Maurice.
Yeah. So I asked my dad a couple of years ago. I was like, why do they call Uncle Danny Maurice? And he was like, because that's his name, bro. And so wait, his name's not Danny? He's like, nah. I said, so my whole life I've been calling him Uncle Danny, and his name is not on his license, his birth certificate. It does not say Danny. He said, no. I said, what? Why do y'all call him Danny if his name's Maurice? I very rarely hear y'all call him Maurice. That's his nickname. Why would his nickname? Why would
Danny is a nickname of Maurice? It's
so close.
Common knowledge.
Why would Danny be a nickname. Danny is a nickname for Daniel. It's not a nickname for Maurice.
That's like the nickname for Greg is Alfonso. That's just what it is.
I can see maybe like Mo.
Well, he so I said, why do y'all call him Danny? He said, I don't know. I was like, what do you mean you don't know? He's like, I don't know. That's what we always called him. Yeah, ask your grandmother. And I did, and I'll be honest with you, it was some inane story that really doesn't make much sense. I think it was something like somebody's cousin thought his name was Danny, so they were just like, oh, we're going to call you Danny from now on. I was like,
that is the weirdest shit.
I was in my 30s when I found this out.
That's
for like
so
34 years. I thought my uncle's name was Danny. His name is not Danny.
How about this? My dad, until he was 14, thought his first name was Paul.
Is it his middle name?
His name was William.
What's his middle name? Is it Paul?
Paul, same as mine. Yeah.
I didn't know your middle name was Paul.
Yeah.
My dad's middle name is Wilbert, by the way.
Really?
Wow. What's his first name?
Michael.
Oh, Michael. Okay.
Yeah.
So much. You got that name in yours, right? Adam Michael.
Yeah, that's my middle name. My dad wanted me to be Michael Jr., but my mom was. Well, funny enough, my mom was against it, and yet throughout my life, whenever she would be mad at me, she would call me Michael Jr., and I was like, okay.
You could have just named me that.
Yeah. Oh, but actually, the funniest part is she didn't want to name me Michael because she was afraid that it would be confusing. And yet, she then named my brother Aaron. So, to this day, people call me, including her, will occasionally call me Aaron because they can't remember which of us is which.
My mom wanted to name me Dylan. And my dad said, no, you're going to name him after me. And that's
could be worse. I could have called you Danny.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my name was almost Dylan, but then they decided to name me after my dad.
That would have been a nice name. We didn't really follow it up. So why didn't your grandparents tell your dad that his name wasn't Paul?
Oh, yeah. Paul.
Why wouldn't they tell him that?
Oh, I honestly don't know. It just didn't. It came
maybe
along.
You're the one who needs to sit down and talk to your grandparents with a recorder.
Well, no. Well, I can tell you the story. It's my dad's name. They called him Paul. They called my brother Bob Paul, and they called my uncle Chuck Paul, and my uncle Jim Paul. So there were 4 Pauls. Well, they just thought that was commonplace. They were country people. They didn't know any better. Paul, everybody came.
Well, which one was the Paul bearer?
Which one actually is named Paul?
None of them. Just the middle.
Nice. So all of them had the same middle name.
Oh, come on. Rum gets to make puns, and everybody's like, I make one, and everybody's like, oh, I'm not even going to say it.
I wasn't very good at it. We were just going to let it roll. It was
pretty solid. Paul Bearer.
It wasn't really. It really wasn't good.
Undertaker!
No. Anyway.
Well, to make another weird name story, my friend Paul from work.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, his name isn't Paul. His name is Kurt. His middle name is Paul, and that's what they call him.
What's going on in the world? It's topsy-turvy.
It's pretty fucking weird.
Crazy.
Pretty weird, dude.
So weird.
So if you guys have any weird name stories y'all want to leave and tell us, please do, because we'd love to hear them. I want to say also, like, our fucking numbers have exploded in the last fucking month.
Explosion.
It's incredible. So thank you guys for listening.
It's because all that white supremacy.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think it has anything to do with that.
Well, I mean, he did name the fucking last episode "Make America White Again."
I didn't understand that. Why would you do that?
If you listen to the episode, you got it. But here's the thing: when I put that,
was it about that billboard?
Yeah.
When I put that in Libsyn, there was a question mark after again. When
really?
Yeah.
You guys really have to be careful what you name stuff.
The title
when you
of the
put it out
episode
there.
wasn't "Make America White Again." It was "Make America White Again."
Like,
And Libsyn took off the question mark, and so I saw it and I was like, "Huh." I bet you we're gonna get a lot of really confused, angry visitors for this one, because they're gonna listen to an episode called "Make America White Again," thinking they're hearing a guy who wants to make America white again. So they're gonna get two brown guys talking about Krispy Kreme.
Exactly. Although that was great. I read the description and laughed my ass off.
Would you? Oh, okay. I was gonna say I didn't realize you were dark complected, Adam.
And there we go again with the pun guy. Knocking him out the park.
You know, Rum, some people would go easy on you because you're in a neck brace, but I will slap the shit out of you.
Just hit him on the side with the eye that works.
It's my good eye.
Maybe it'll correct his vision.
Grab that with my good hand.
I got my good eye. I can see.
You know, I don't date a lot. You know,
What? You?
All right.
What?
There was a kind of an incident, not an incident, but when I went to go visit my grandmother on that Wednesday, I was
That's a
sitting
weird
there.
intro.
Anyway, the nurse came eventually.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah. So I kind of perked up. She was pretty cute. She had like a nice body. She seemed friendly. Although I will say, like, she called my grandmother Sweetie Pie, and she was very like, oh, you know, that kind of voice that sometimes nice girls talk to people like they're puppies.
You mean like the waitress that's completely full of sugar and is so aggravating?
Yeah, but less southern.
Honey boo, how you doing? All right, yeah, baby. Okay, honey. I'm like, motherfucker, can you stop calling me all these names? Shit.
Man,
Bring me my fucking hamburger.
man, Wayne's angry. I don't know why.
Wayne is very
Honey
angry.
boo, motherfucker.
But not quite.
Now you know how I feel.
She was just an overly like nice girl,
Right.
Which I was very interested, but I was like, I don't think she'd be interested in me. She seems to be a little too nice.
Did you try something? Did you talk to her? Did
I
you say,
thought
hey,
about it.
I've been to a sponge bath? What?
I thought about it. I will get to that in a second, but I do want to say the one flaw in her, and I don't know if I don't think this is a deal breaker, but have you ever
Peg
seen?
leg?
No, but you're in the right direction. Have you ever seen somebody that has like, I'm gonna say not Bugs Bunny, but Lola Bunny teeth?
Yes.
Yes.
She had those, and I was like,
Front teeth are just a little bit longer.
yeah, I was kind of waiting for her to start whistling.
Hey.
Like Thuffer and Thuckatash.
Yeah.
But she was a very cute girl, and you know, she was very nice for my grandmother. And I thought about saying something. The only
About her
thing-
teeth?
no,
Oh.
like, yeah, thank you for taking over my grandmother, but damn, you got jacked up teeth. No, she was, but like it wasn't like it made her ugly. It's just like it was just something I noticed. But she's very
It was a
very pretty
quirky
Character.
little physical attribute.
yeah,
a good-
very pretty girl. But the only thing I did say to her was at some point she was talking to my aunt about my grandmother's medication. My aunt was telling her that they wouldn't give her drugs, and she said when she asked for them, they made her feel like she was a drug dealer. And I don't know what made me say this, but I was like, my Aunt Angie don't give nobody no drugs. Like, I give my grandmother all the drugs she wants. That's my job. And like the room kind of went, and she laughed, but in a very uncomfortable way. And that was kind of it. She left after that. But when I spoke to my dad,
Yeah, probably quickly.
yeah, a little bit. When I spoke to my dad on Sunday, he said, "Yeah, I went and visited with your grandma." And at some point, the nurse came by, and Aunt Angie said, "Hey, that's the girl Adam was hitting on." And I was like, "Oh, I guess it was more obvious than I thought it was."
Did you maybe hand her a pencil and see if she could sharpen it for you?
You can get arrested for that, Rum. Me too.
Oh, me too. Sorry, my bad.
But I did think about asking my grandmother, like as I was leaving. I thought about saying, "Hey, Grandma, when your nurse comes back, let her know your grandson's single." And I told my dad that. He was like, "Nah, don't do that. Your grandmother will do that. Like if you ask her, she will make it uncomfortable." And
you know, in the movies, you're supposed to be sitting there like, "Oh, I don't feel good. I think I got the fever." And you're supposed to sit there. She's going to come take your temperature, and then you pull your pants down, and she goes, "Oh, this is an oral thermometer." You're like, "I know."
Rum, how did you ever manage to get Amy?
That's funny enough. That's how I got it. No, that's not how I got it.
You tried to get an oral thermometer reading. Somehow, I don't think that worked.
Yeah, it didn't. It took a couple tries. And ketamine.
Let me walk into a room. Whoa, Jesus! Let me walk into a room full of Russians and Mexicans and try to get a blowjob.
Oh shit! That's funny.
If you don't mind, sir, your daughter won't be able to eat for a while. She's got other uses for that mouth.
Oh, funny.
God.
Anyway, well, yeah, man, you need to work on some game. That's all. Yeah. You can take some of mine. I mean, I got plenty to spare.
Yeah. I mean, I hear all the cripples like come to your yard.
All the little cripples with the funked up kicks. You gotta never say.
No.
No, you messed it up. It's all the little crips with the pumped
up kicks. There it is. That's nice.
You had it. You were like 80% of the way. You just had to put a little gravy on it.
Well, see, I gave you the idea. You can take it and run with it.
I really don't think that would help him get a chick.
All right, well, fall back, ketamine.
Yeah, ketamine, always.
That's going to be the name of the episode, is all the little crips with the pumped up kicks.
Oh, it's funny.
So, gentlemen, we got anything else?
So anyway, I was gonna say before you change subject, I said I hope your grandmother does start to feel better. I hope everything goes well.
You can all just wish her well and
wish her well and fingers crossed and enjoy the time you got, man. That's all you can do.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, like, obviously I love my grandmother. I don't want her to die, but I really hope that there's some I'd like to see her in less pain. That's all. I mean,
sure. Well, she's at the hospital. She's at good hands, or the best hands she can be in.
Yeah.
So, but other than that, man, what else you got? Anything else?
I don't think we have much. I don't really want to get into the politic bullshit that's going on with it.
No, I don't want to get into it either.
No, all I do want to say about that is like 99% of people have no idea what the fuck they're talking about.
You're right.
Absolutely. And all I'm going to add to that is they just signed everything about changing what's going on right now too.
That's
so I mean, stop yelling about it. So whatever. Grow up, people.
I think that's pretty much it, man.
When can we look forward to the Gary Uber Gary cavalcade of movies?
Hopefully soon, man. Hopefully soon. Gary talked to me about it the other day. The actual account is set up. It's ready to go. He just needs to schedule some time to try to record it.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. I look forward to hearing it.
And we should be getting together more of the shows for the network soon.
Yep. In fact, Gary's is one. And there's a wrestling one now, and actually there's two wrestling ones. There's one that is from out of state. They're talking to me about getting on.
I was going to ask you that too. I'll just bring it up on the air or tell you about it. There's a guy up, a couple guys up in Wilmington, who are interested in. They've got a show. They're actually pretty good, and what they do is they talk about kind of like the coastal. It's like we talk about music quite a bit in certain aspects and stuff, but they're talking more the coastal music scene, that sort of stuff, and they've got a little show. So they're getting a little sampler together to get me, to give to me to get to yell. So
sounds good to me.
Okay.
I do want to, right before we get off, I do want to give a little shout out to a guy named Simon Isbell.
Okay.
I hope I'm saying your name right, Simon.
Hey, Simon.
I was having a conversation with him, and I've seen him on the Dis After Dark message board before, but I don't know him personally. But I had a brief conversation with him about Star Wars of all things, and he stopped to tell me, by the way, great show, and I was like, oh. Okay, thanks.
Awesome.
So just a little lesson to all of y'all. Like, I'm a whore. Like, if you compliment us publicly, like, I'm happy to say your name.
Yeah, definitely. We'll definitely give you plugs. Always.
We did give an entire 20-minute segment to a family that hit us up a year or two ago.
Yeah.
Was it the Poe family?
No, I don't remember their name. Sorry.
Oh, I know who remembers them. Kevin, the champ. He always mentions you guys every time he comes on the show. He'll slide it in. Like, want to give a big shout out to that family. So.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
All right. Well, I guess that's it for all of us.
Yeah,
that's it. Everybody have a great week.
Yes.
We will catch you on the flip side because you are listening to the MHOG podcast.
That's right. I was your host, Wayne.
I'm Adam.
And I'm the Rum Guy.
And remember, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to keep it
Paul.
MHOG